Okay. Hello all. Let's actually see if we need a little bit more lighting. She's ready. Hello all, welcome back to my channel. For those who don't know, this is Lynn's Life. My name is Jalen, and I just want to thank everyone that is new here to the channel. I am not an influencer. I'm just somebody who's documenting my life. I don't want to say life's been kicking my behind or anything, because it really hasn't. Life has been absolutely amazing, but I just feel so busy all the time. So I don't really get to like film like I used to, and I'm just trying to find out how to incorporate like filming content in this new era of me and like the things that I'm working on and doing and stuff like that. So like, yeah, but for right now, you guys are just gonna get a lot of get ready with me content. I love to yap, so this will be perfect. So today's video, I'm just gonna yap and we're gonna see where it takes us. Also, never forget, I'm literally just a girl. Literally just, well, I'm a grown woman. Let's start there. But at my core, I'm just a girl. If you follow me on other platforms, something that I always get back, like a lot of feedback that I get back, just like, you be so lit, like, and not in the sense of like partying, you know, I just be living my life, like doing me, like just doing, I'm an oddball, and I'm unapologetically an oddball. So like, I don't really, and not in the sense of like, I'm better than people because I don't do what they do. Not in that sense, because like, you know, if I want to go out, I'm gonna go out. I just march to the beat of my own drum. Me like learning and like becoming more of myself. Like one thing that I am, I try to make a point is like not waiting on other people to do things that I want to do. The feedback that I get a lot from people is like, your life is so lit. Like, I just always want to remind people that like, you know, 9 times out of 10 people are not showing like the bad aspects of their life like at all. Like I don't either. So we should never see what someone else is doing and be like, I want to be just like them, because you really don't know what people are battling in their day-to-day. You don't know what type of stuff like they have to do to get to where they are. And so I will never covet against my neighbor, honey. Like I said, you really don't know what people be out here doing and like the types of things they have to do to maneuver and trick and scheme to get certain things and get in certain positions in life and stuff like that. And yeah, you just really don't know. But I don't knock anybody for, you know, getting it how they gotta get it either. But I also don't fantasize of like wanting anyone's life, because ooh, we all got the same 24 hours in a day, babe. So what you do with yours is what you do with yours. What I do with mine is what I do with mine. But yeah. So rewind just a little bit. Like I was saying, like a lot of people do say to me like, your life is so lit, like you're just always like, no. I appreciate the admiration, and I know when people say that it comes from a good place. But like, I want y'all to know I have dealt with my fair share of trauma, and I'm just like, I think I talked about this in my last video too, but I'm just getting to a point where I want to like reap the benefits of my sacrifices throughout the years. I've made some very dumb decisions, just like the next person. Yeah, I've taken a lot of L's in silence. This is just my time to be, this is just my time to just like live. Listen, all I could say is, first of all, that pimple hurt so bad just trying to cover it up. When I think sometimes we get so caught up in like, what should we do and what shouldn't we do? But it really just all boils down to what feels right for you. Like, what feels like something that resonates with your spirit, your soul. And it takes a lot of like introspection work and like just sitting with yourself and learning yourself and learning what you like and what you don't like. That I think is the part that a lot of people miss out on. Let me tell y'all, I'm gonna be real honest with y'all. So like, a part of the reason why I am how I am, or I have become this way, is because like I literally sat in seasons that lasted like 2 to 3 years, and I was just alone, like no one. Like, and I wanted it that way though. Like, I feel like God called me into that season so that I could be more in tune with myself, so that I could be prepared for what was to come after it. Because if I didn't have those seasons of where I was in like pure solitude and I just literally was working on my relationship with God, and not based off of like what a church tells you or anything like that, but like just really just me and God. That's it. Me looking for signs and even just trusting in the unknown. That is literally how I spent those like 2 to 3 years of my life. And I also was celibate, ladies. Abstinence. I abstained. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, when you fast, that is the best way to hear God's voice clearly. Fasting. Oh my gosh, you get all the answers you need in life. I was really fasting from trying to find relationships and things like that. I had things that I needed to heal from, like just on my own, outside of like, you know, any like, well, I guess like childhood things. Like, I needed to heal from those things. I needed to address some things as well. And so I had to sit in silence. I'm just using this as a mirror so I could do my eyebrows real quick, so we could get up in there. But yeah, I took a lot of seasons of isolation, and even people that know me kind of know that that's like kind of my character anyways, is that I'm kind of typically a lone wolf, or like I'm just very, I don't want to say introverted, but like I do hang out with myself a lot. Or I just really hang out with the same people. But I felt like all the relationships in my life were becoming a distraction. And this is no disrespect to the people that were in my life or are in my life right now, but like being called to a season of isolation, a lot of people don't understand like what it's like. And I think people take things way more personal than they need to. Now, of course, I was younger and I didn't have like the full range of like communication skills that I do now, because I was definitely like 21, 22 at the time. Like, it wasn't too long after I turned 21 actually. But I just had like this really bad experience. I felt like I was at a point in my life where like God was trying to sit me down, and I just wasn't listening, because I had just turned 21. Like, I was trying to be outside, like, and I was not really an outside kid anyways, but like I just wanted to experience life. Like, I mean, you know, and I felt like I was getting all these like signs that I needed to like chill out and just lay low for a while, and that's what I did. So I moved, and I just laid low for a couple years, and then I started putting myself back out there within the like next couple years. Before I started therapy, like I started like right before I started therapy, I really started to address some things that were like very much a factor in my life. Yeah, and I started to address like a lot of things that I ignored for years, like that were aspects of my story and made me who I am and things like that. And you know, there's that sense of like shame and all those things and like guilt that you have to work through. And so I like was working through these things like by myself with kind of like little to no guidance, because like it was just kind of something that I did because I was like, okay, I think I'm at this point where I'm ready to start dating again, but like I don't want to show up like I used to, like how I did when I was younger. Like I don't want to date how I dated then. Like I genuinely want to have like healthy relationships in my life. I was not prepared. Like I didn't understand that, like even though I had this like epiphany in my own life, and I'm still understanding this to this day, but like it's like just because I came to this realization does not mean that everybody operates the dating game the same way. And this is why boundaries are so important. We love a good boundary. Like when it comes to like dating, I really approach it in a non-traditional way as far as like what is like the norm, the social norm when it comes to dating. I'm just not the girl for those type of things. Like, they call them sapiosexuals. I love mentally stimulating conversations and not regurgitated podcast topics. Like, no. Like, I don't want to talk about multiple partners. I don't want to talk about who's wrong, the man or the woman. I'm not talking about those topics. I just have way too much depth to me to like really engage in those conversations, not gonna lie. And this is no shade to nobody, of course, but it's just like those topics are just so redundant and like dumb. What are we even talking about here? But yeah, so dating for me is a little bit different because like I'm just not interested in like really what somebody can do for me, because I mean I do for myself. Don't get me wrong, like people still do for me. Not even trying to be like that, but people will still do for you. For me, it's just like I just require a lot bit more than that. Like it's just beyond like what can you do for me. It's beyond like where we go and the type of dates we go on. It's more so about like I'm looking at who you are as a person and your core, and that's about it. We do ourselves a disservice when we don't ask the right questions. Like, I want to know how you treat your mother. Those are things I want to know. Like, I don't need you to buy me no damn Chanel purse. I can buy my own self a Chanel purse. Like, that's so, it's just dumb. But like, we're not asking the right questions. Like, what's your family dynamic like? What's your role in your family? Like, stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, shit, your girl is very much single, so I don't even got all the answers. But I'm just saying, like, the way I like today is in this way. And you know, some people prefer, like, I have friends that like to be wined and dined, like, and I don't judge them for that, because that's what they like. That's it's like almost like the love language things. Like, that's how they want to experience dating. And who am I to say like the way that I date is the right way? And I think that's the problem with like the culture nowadays, is that like we're teaching young girls to like really only look for like monetary compensation when dating, and that's why these girls are ending up in these toxic ass situations and these very, very abusive dating experiences at such young ages. Like, some of the stuff that these like young people are putting themselves through at such young ages, like, I could not even imagine. Social media has literally ruined our society. It's so bad. Like, yeah, so I can't get over like the only wanting things because somebody said that this was the thing that you're supposed to want. And it's just like, now, don't get me wrong, I have been a consumer of influencing, like, and stuff like that, but it's just like, for kids that are so impressionable to like be like during during such like fundamental years in their lives, being shaped and like morphed into this like, oh my gosh, like a freaking fight to the finish of this unrealistic expectation of money and finances. It's so like, it's hard to watch sometimes. But yeah, so anyways, that's just a little bit of my opinion on dating these days. So the takeaway from that segment is, you know, date how you want to date. I was just talking to my friend about this because, you know, we're young and all those things, and like we do get caught, like it's easy to get caught up in the like, oh, I want to have this by this time and I should be married by now and all of those things, which like at my age, I'm turning 27 this year, which I'm so excited because like I'm so close to 30 and I can't wait to turn 30. Like, I really cannot wait to turn 30. I don't think anybody understands like how much I cannot wait to be in my 30s. Like, that is literally what I look forward to every day, is that I'm so close to turning 30, because I'm gonna get to that in a minute. But yeah, like, we were talking and I was just like, girl, it's like so crazy how like, and I talked to my therapist about this because like I said, I really date in a very unconventional way. And, you know, some people can call it stupid, some people can call it naive, but like, I mean, it works for me. I don't care. Like, I'm just not the girl that you have to be in constant communication with. Like, I have stuff going on like all the time. And not saying that people who prefer that don't have stuff going on, but like I just have like low-key ADHD and I don't have the mental capacity to balance like being in constant communication with people. Like, I just can't. And sometimes I just want my quiet and my peace, and I don't want to be bothered. Mostly, like, maybe it's me, maybe I'm the problem. But anyways, so yeah, we were talking about that, and I was telling her how like in therapy, like for a long time I felt so like, I just had this insecurity, like I feel like I'm doing something wrong because I don't resonate with like the way that people are saying that I should do things. And like one of the big things that like in therapy that I'm working on with my therapist and talking to her about is like just being okay with like doing things the way that feels right for me. Like, forget who else is doing what and whatever way they're doing it. I had to switch up the lighting a little bit because it was just giving like ashy. And no. Yeah, people like, you know, slide up on my story from time to time and they're just like, you seem so lit, like, you know. And I just want you to know that I literally wake up every day and I just pray that I show people what God's grace looks like on your life. Like, that is literally my daily prayer, is that like, no matter what I'm going through, no matter like how hard things may seem, I just pray that no matter what, like, I always am a representation of like what God's grace looks like. Because, and I filmed a video about this before, but I couldn't stop crying through it, so I just scrapped it. And I just made it like a video diary for myself. Seriously though, like, I've said this before, but I'm not a very religious person. Like, I don't really align with religion, and I know it's hard to accept that, and it's hard to understand that there are people out here that can walk with God and still not be religious. It's okay. It's okay. It's really okay. I promise y'all, I believe in God. I promise. But my walk may not look like your walk, and that's fine. That is fine. And I wish people were a little bit more accepting of that and not ready to say, well, I don't know who you're praying to. I've had somebody tell me that, and it was just like, what the same person you pray to. Like, I still was raised a certain way. I still hold on to those things, but I don't necessarily align with any religion. And this I say because I have experienced multiple religions. I have studied multiple religions. Therefore, I have the knowledge and the wherewithal to say that I don't feel like I align with a necessary religion. I don't think there is a right or wrong way to do things. Like, it's just not. I feel like the goal of everything should just be to be a good person. Like, that's it. Anything outside of that, that's neither here nor there. Anything outside of that, the goal should just be to be a good person in your life, so that when people see you, they see, I'm not here to make anybody believe what I believe. I'm not here to make anybody, you know, want to be something other than a good person and a person that puts out good into the world. That's it. And I think we get too caught up in the labels of like what you are and what you align with. It just, that stuff doesn't matter. Are you a good person? Yes or no? But that's the, on that one. Because I've had people, I've actually been very offended by some things that people post. But what being offended is like one of two things. Like I said, I'm not here to convince anybody to believe what I believe in, because I don't want you doing that to me. So I don't really give a good god dog. But I just feel like people should be a little bit mindful of the things that they say, because you don't know how that can hurt somebody. And like, just because somebody may not believe in things the way you believe in them does not mean that they're like a bad person. And I think we get a little lost when the labels get involved. But who am I? Right? But yeah, so my main goal for being like a good person is to just like make sure that I'm living and walking in my purpose. And my season of isolation really was like me honing in on my purpose, because this was also during a time where I was like, what am I doing with my life? Like, I don't feel like I've accomplished anything. I just feel like I'm just existing, and that's not where I want to be. Like, I don't want to ever feel like that. Like, I'm just going through the motions of life. And it was that's very humbling. That is extremely humbling. Like, to feel like you're just there, like you serve no purpose. And one thing, like, like I said, like in developing my own personal relationship with God, was like that I learned that, like, you know, we all serve a purpose. And it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what job title you have, what education background you have. Like, we all serve a purpose in this life. And it's up to you to like really connect with God so that you know what your purpose is. So yeah, it took me some time to figure that out, but it was something that was like extremely important to me that I knew that I wanted to do. I wanted to know what my purpose was. And in my seasons of solitude, I came to the answer. Like, I know my purpose is to help people in any way and to be a walking representation of God's grace. So to the people who will be like, girl, you be living, you be lit, all this stuff, like, and not in the sense of like I'm partying hard or nothing like that. You can just see when people have God's favor on their life. Like, you can see it just screams. Like, it really is just like, it's like an energy that is like palpable. And I'm so grateful. And I'm only saying this because I really come across this so much in my life, and people ask me like, what's different? And all I can say is that I really just walk my walk with God, and I put him first in every decision that I make. Every single one. Which leads to another story. So I talked about how like knowing what's for you and what's meant for you. So I was dating someone who asked me if I would convert. And I think that there's nothing wrong with that if you feel called to do that. I didn't feel called to do that. And I had my own reservations as to why. But in this specific dynamic, I felt like it was a control tactic, and it was just like a way to like try to control me because of what your religion, quote unquote, calls for, until, you know, this specific person had told me that they identified with the Islamic faith. And like I said, I've studied religions. Sorry if I'm a little nasally. I'm just getting over the flu. But anyways, so like I've said, I've studied religions. So I'm not dumb. Like, I'm well aware of like what different faiths entail. And another aspect of me is I like to challenge people. And it's a very toxic trait that I have, but it works in my favor sometimes. Sorry guys, I'm looking for my tweezers. What's in there? What are they? They're not in there. Did I get rid of them? Okay. Why did I in here? No, they're not. I give them away. But yeah, so I was dating this guy, seeing this guy, and he's like, would you ever convert? And I was like, no. That's like a hard no, especially not to the faith in which he was asking me if I would convert to. And so like I said, I felt like it was like he wanted to have like the ability to control me, like if I became his wife. And I was just like, no. Yeah, so we were talking, and it was Islamic faith, and we were talking, and it was Ramadan, and I was like, did you eat today? Or are you fasting? And he was like, of course I'm fasting. Of course I'm fasting. No, you not fasting. Stop lying. Anyways, And I'm such a troll in real life. That's why I'm really be by myself, for real. But yeah, so I was like, I don't think we're supposed to be on the phone with each other. Isn't that like against her? Isn't that haram? Like, what? I'm not your wife. That's definitely haram. And he was just like looking at me like, what is haram? Like, and that's when it's just like, y'all gotta stop trying to align yourself with belief systems and stuff just because of the things that are presented within the belief, because you don't even know it. Like, did you actually, do you even own a Quran? But yeah, that's just a little story that felt like one of my little experiences. But obviously that situation did not last for other reasons, partly. But yeah, it's very interesting that like people hide behind religion and things like that, and they just slap a title on themselves so that they can associate themselves with whatever it is that they want to associate themselves with, when in all actuality they don't even practice the faith like they're supposed to. And that's why I say I don't align with religion. I just strive to be a good person. That's it, and that's all. Just a side note, this is a fan from the hair store, honey. And let me tell you, I go through these things like crazy, but this is how we dry the makeup. But yes, so this is the face. Y'all know I do a very simple, but to those people that like slide up on my story and be like, I love when you do this, or you know, just like I love seeing you like this, and girl, you be living your life. Like, I just want y'all to know, it's not me, it's God. It really is. I cannot take credit for what is being done in my life. The only difference between who I was and who I am today is that I have God in my life more. And I know that sometimes, like, when people, for me, like, for a long time, like, it was just like, oh my gosh, so preachy, like, but like, and I apologize to those people who, you know, deep down I had those feelings and those sentiments about when they would do all that, because it's like, when stuff is really moving in your life and you know who the reason why it's moving, you don't want to, you never want to deny it. Yeah, and I'm just so appreciative that, like, my growth, just as a person, as a woman, my growth is recognized by people. Not that that matters, but it matters. Like, it really matters. Sometimes when you get, I'm the type of person where, like, once I reach one level, like, I'll just keep going and keep going, and I don't ever take the time to, like, sit and, like, be like, whoa, like, I really did that. I'm literally a rose that grew out the concrete. Like, I don't ever have those moments with myself, for real. So when people, you know, say things to me, I always appreciate the comments, and I always stop and I'll be like, oh my gosh, that's so amazing. I'm so glad that, you know, people see that the work that I'm doing in my life, because I have so much more. I just hope that, like, I continue to just, like, I'm continue to be seen as, like, proof that, you know, your story is your story. How you want it to be told is up to you. You know, like, we've all done stuff that we may not be proud of in life. Like, I can tell you that I could be the first person to say it. There are many things that I've done that I'm not happy that I did, or I'm not proud of, but I also recognize that, like, I don't have to be that person if that's not who I know that I am. Like, I don't have to let those moments define me and, like, dictate who I am as a person. So that's like a big thing for me. Yeah, and like there were seasons of my life that I went for stuff that in this season I might not go for. That's just the reality of it all. And that's why it goes into like what I was saying, you know, the type of content you take in, the type of, that goes for like the shows you watch, the music you listen to, the even what you have on your news feed. Like that plays a part in it too. The social media, how much social media you intake. I do have a social media problem, so you know, I'm not here to judge, I'm not here to do any of those things. But I think we're very hard on ourselves. I know I am. I think that like we're just seeing a lot of unforeseen times right now, and I think we need to give each other grace. We're all battling something, and whether you're aware of someone's struggles or not, that doesn't mean that like just because you're unaware of what somebody's going through doesn't give you the rights to treat them like shit. Like, and that's something that I think people need to be more cognizant of, is just because I don't know X, Y, and Z of what somebody got going on does not mean that that gives me the right to like just be terrible to them. Like, no, that's not okay. You should just be good to people just because you need to be good to people. Because who are you to not be? That's really what it boils down to. Who are you to not be good to people? Like, who do you think you are that you don't think you need to be good to people? I didn't put lashes on today. ADHD. I didn't put lashes on today just because like I put that mascara on and it's giving like, it really is, the lashes are lashing. Like I don't even need no lashes. So we're not even gonna do that. But you know, just love on your people, love on people that aren't your people. Step out of your comfort zone this week. That is my challenge for you. Oh, is this my first video of 2025? I think it is. Happy traditional new year. Excuse me. Happy traditional new year. I hope you guys this year, may 2025 bring you guys a lot of blessings, a lot of peace, a lot of prosperity, a lot of abundance. I hope that you and your household remain safe in these very unprecedented times. I hope that, you know, you all challenge yourselves to be better than who you were last year and just step out of your comfort zone. You are literally, every day when you wake up, you are one choice away from being who it is that you want to be. So like, just do it. Like, that's literally all there is to it. I challenge you in these next couple months, you know, just make a small action towards the person that you see yourself as. Make one small step, one action that aligns with who that is. First figure out who it is that, you know, you see yourself as, who it is that you want to be, and then make the small step. But yeah, like I was saying, if you're new to my channel, hi, welcome. My name is Jalen. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you made it this far into the video, please give me a thumbs up, comment, all of those things. I always respond to comments because it just means so much to me that people are actually taking the time out of their day to really watch. Slide up on my story. Like, I promise y'all, I'm not the boogeyman. I'm really just the girl. I love having conversations with people, and I'll probably yap your ear off. But yeah, I love you guys. This is just an impromptu video just because I'm about to get ready to just run some errands and just enjoy the nice weather, because like I said, I've had the flu for the past week. So yeah, like I was saying, I love you guys. If you're here and you haven't checked out any of my older videos, please take a look at some of the older videos on my channel. I'm gonna have them linked over here, and then there's plenty more. But yeah, go check out those videos for me. Give me a like, comment, and subscribe. My goal this year is to grow my channel as far as like subscribers. Like the views are cool, but I'd rather have like the longevity of subscribers. Let me know what kind of like stuff you guys want to hear, like any story times or anything like that. Like I'm pretty much an open book. I just really have to gauge the type of content that you guys want. So if you have any suggestions, I'm all ears. I'm open to it. If it's something that resonates with me, I will definitely take it into consideration and do. But with that being said, oh my eye itches. Ooh. With that being said, I love you guys. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.